Good morning and welcome back to Margin. This morning we're going to talk about showing some gratitude. So let's jump right into it. So bringing the theme of giving to a close, it's important to not only reflect in order to gain perspective and make adjustments to how you actually operate going forward, but to also reflect in order to show some gratitude and appreciation. So think back on who made the greatest impact on you this year. What events occurred that you were able to use for your betterment. This gratitude should be something that you do daily, as it gives you the ability to reflect in real time, see all that you have, take your eyes off of who you may be comparing yourself to or what you may not have, and truly be grateful for what you do. So the ability to slow down enough to process through all that you have is a necessary skill, one that I believe is greatly missing in our society today. We look at our neighbors, we look at our family, our friends, and our social feeds to tell us what we should have, which then causes a never-ending cycle of chasing, of us pursuing something that we may not have even defined as being important to us. Now, this chasing leads us to never be satisfied or to be content, and it ends up being a vicious cycle that causes issues in our relationships, in our happiness, in our joy, and in our contentment. So think about what you have today and ask yourself whether you are content or whether you are striving or chasing after more. Now, there's no problem whatsoever with having goals for your life. And in fact, that's what we are going to cover in tomorrow's episode. Now, there's no problem with having goals for your life. And in fact, that's what we're going to cover in tomorrow's episode in setting up those goals and figuring out what you should be pursuing. But there is a problem with setting those goals and setting your sights on what others want and what they have deemed as important. And it causes you to consistently allow and instill a feeling of lack, of jealousy, of envy, or even coveting what someone else has. Now, this leads to a very unhealthy perspective of life and ends up stealing your joy. So this is a choice, though. It's a choice to live your own life instead of living someone else's, to want what you want versus what someone else wants. And I think that our society would be significantly happier if it weren't for platforms that consistently push the notion of us looking to other people for validation and for substantiation for what to pursue next. And I believe that although this is our nature to constantly compare ourselves and to compete against someone else, it shouldn't be in our face to the level to which it is today. So I want you to try something out. List out what you are thankful for. Let's utilize the 7 F's for the purpose of looking at each area individually. Now, the first one is faith. What are you thankful for around your faith, as well as the traditions, the customs, the beliefs that have been passed down from your family and prior generations? What do you believe to be true, and why do you believe that to be true? Think through why you ultimately do what you do and for whom. Number 2 is family. Which family members have had the greatest impact on your life? Who have fought for you, supported you, and also challenged you to be the best version of yourself that you can be? Who has helped form you into the person that you are today? What attributes are you thankful for? Like their character, personality, authenticity, or their love that they have for life or individuals, and what do they exhibit? Number 3 is friends. Reflecting on this season of life, what friends have been there for a certain situation, maybe a season, or whom you deem to be lifelong friends? What characteristics of those individuals do you value and appreciate? What friendships have you had or have that have had the greatest impact on you, and why? Number 4 is fitness. Looking at your health, whether physically or mentally, What are you grateful for? You may boil this down to having the ability to critically think, to relate, to care well for others. You may also think about your physical health and being grateful for the physical abilities you have, the health that you enjoy, or maybe even your physique. Number 5 is fun. Thinking back over the year, think of the enjoyment you've had, the opportunities you've prioritized, or the newfound skill or hobby that you have mastered, that you've found. What have you done just for fun, not out of obligation, but just for enjoyment? Not to have an agenda, but just to be present. Number 6 is finances. Think over what you have resource-wise to accomplish the goals that you've accomplished this year. The money in order to cover aspects like housing, transportation, food, and clothing. This is an area that can be, or may be, easily overlooked, being that you correlate it to your own contribution, your job, or your work ethic, and not necessarily something that has enabled you to do that, from a gifting standpoint. But thinking about how much you have in the area of finances can really put life into perspective. Number 7 is focus or future. Now look at what you've focused on this year. What have you been able to accomplish toward your vision? What goals have you accomplished in building that business that you've wanted to build, further developing your skill set in the line of work that you are in, or making that contribution through a means of giving back that you had always wanted to do? Now, once you look at each of these areas, what opportunities do you have to express that gratitude? Now, my call to action today is to pick an area that you are most grateful for this year and take the opportunity to show appreciation to the individual who had helped in this area or had the biggest contribution to you in this area. Now, of course, this could be multiple individuals, but sit down and write a thank you to them. Not a text, not an email or a Snapchat, but an actual letter. Express your gratitude toward them, what they have taught you or how they have impacted you, what you have then applied based on their counsel. Take the opportunity to brighten their world so that they're encouraged going forward to have that kind of an impact on other individuals as well. If this information is helpful to you, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're reminded to come back on a daily basis and improve in managing your personal finances. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.